wasn't long after I moved out into the countryside that the ideas for Afterlife started flowing. I think it was the quiet space that being out here afforded me that gave me a chance to decompress. And in that state of decompression, I was able to let a lot of old feelings through. That's what became Afterlife. It documents my struggles and successes with my mental health over the last decade or so, and sort of acts as an explanation of why I left music for such a long hiatus. The last time I was in music when I was much younger ended very abruptly with some serious crisis in my mental health and a couple of attempts to check out of this life. And this album is the explanation as to what I did to get to the next stage and where everything is okay. And it's still a roller coaster of a life, but the edges have been softened, and that process has been very much the process of coming back to life in a new way, and that's why I called this project Afterlife. The process of recording was simple in that I recorded the album in my humble home setup with my pair of Rocket 6s and my Focusrite preamp and a SM58, a recording mic, a acoustic guitar and a couple of keyboards. And with those as the tools, I spent a good while putting this album together.
Would you get to know my flaws? Can you see that I'm human?
I was very fortunate in that I also had Chris Anderson, a friend of mine, a really well-established mastering engineer, have a mix and master of my album. And that put the polishing edge on a record that is admittedly a little bit odd. There's a lot of risks you can take creatively when you don't have anyone else in the room. There are distinct sections to the album, the first of which speaks specifically to the more mental health side of things, with tracks like Afterlife being a dialogue between myself and my inner child, tracks like Paranoia that talk about anxiety. So we head into the middle of the album with tracks like Go Away and Pick You Up. We're getting to a certain spot where I recognize as a person that I need to establish better boundaries. And then towards the end of the album, there's a sort of optimistic edge. Tracks like In My Soul, where I hear the echoing sounds of the person that I used to be before things went wrong. And I'm calling them home.
It's so windy today.
I'm genuinely pleased with how the project turned out. I feel like it really captures the essence of that time in my life, and I feel like it acts as a point of reference. And now that this project is out, I can move into the next stage of my life.